Hey, it's been a while.
It was my ex-husband who approached me. His face was grinning as if he wanted to make fun of me.
I heard you sold the house without paying back the loan. That's impossible with your income. How much debt do you owe now?
I'm sure my ex-husband is going to laugh his head off when he hears my answer. But I'm sorry. It's not going away. That house sold for $200,000 when its value went up. My ex-husband's face turned pale when he heard my words. My name is Gina. My husband Louis and I have been married for 2 years. We met at a matchmaking party held by a dating agency, and I was invited by my friend to the party. I met Louis there. He was an office worker at a company, and he's 2 years younger than me. I had been prioritizing my work, but my parents were worried about me, and I started to look for a marriage partner. And he was the same way. His parents also said, "Don't you think it's time for you to get married?" So he joined this party. We felt close to each other because we were both being rushed by our parents, and we got along well with each other right away. We were not seriously thinking of getting married, but since we met each other by chance, we exchanged contact information. We started going out for drinks regularly after work, and we also started going on dates on our days off. Louis and I had a lot in common, probably because we were close in age. So we had a lot of fun together, and I became more and more attracted to him. He also liked me, and we started dating. We continued to date steadily, and after a year of dating, we decided to get married. I was so happy when he proposed to me.
Gina, I realized that you had become a very important person to me. So I want you to continue to live your life with me. Please marry me.
He gave me a ring. I cried tears of joy when I received it. Yes, I love to. And I accepted his proposal. Then we shared the news to each other's parents, met with both of our families, and got married. Many people at work and among our friends congratulated us on our marriage, and we felt the happiest we had ever felt. Then my husband and I went on our honeymoon. I was thrilled every day with the sweet, newlywed life full of happiness. At that time, I was happy just to spend time with my husband in the same house every day. However, this does not mean that I had no complaints at all. My husband did not do any housework.
I never cooked a day in my life. So please do everything for me.
When I suggested that we learn little by little, he stubbornly refused.
Seriously, I can't hold a knife well, and I don't know how to season food well. It will be faster if you do everything. Besides, I have a job and I work too.
Our conditions are pretty much the same. It is true that I tend to come home a little earlier than him, but I still come home busy and tired. I wonder how it feels to have all the household chores done for me. I had such a complaint, but still I did not think of divorce. There are many families nowadays where the wife does all the housework, and it is important for a couple to accept each other's good points and bad points. It is impossible to make your partner do everything the way you want. And if that is the case, it will be better to hire a housekeeper or something. So, of course, there were many hard parts, but my husband never complained even if I brought ready-to-eat foods and enjoyed them. I have been doing all the housework by myself since the beginning of our marriage. We went on occasional trips, went out to eat delicious food with a little bit of extravagance, and made many memories. And before I knew it, 2 years had passed in the blink of an eye. Then something even more exciting happened to us.
What? You're pregnant?
They said 3 months.
That's amazing. Gina, does this mean we're gonna be parents too?
Yeah, we'll have to think of a name and everything.
That's exciting. Oh yeah, maybe we should build a house.
A house?
Yeah, house for the whole family. What do you think? It's a good idea, right?
Sure. We could build a house for the rest of our lives.
Yes. Then let's get ready to build a house.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I have a relative who's an architect. Maybe he can give us a discount.
That's a good idea. Let's just leave it to him.
Okay, I'll call him. I was thrilled to be pregnant and to be building a house for my family to live in. When I told my parents, they were overjoyed, and my father immediately contacted his relatives. My relative, an architect, was willing to do what I asked him to do. I told my husband about it.
Oh, that's good. Well, you should take the lead in the project.
I raised my eyebrows at his response. What? Aren't we going to decide the floor plan together?
No, I don't know much about that. For the time being, I'm okay with it as long as it's spacious and I have my own room. Besides, your relatives should communicate with you if you were going to design the house, right? I'm not good at contracts.
I've thought from the beginning of our marriage that my husband has a terrible way of rejecting things he's not used to or that are new to him. He puts everything on me because he can't do it himself. I thought we were going to discuss things together, but now he's forcing me to do everything. Moreover, I'm pregnant, so I want to concentrate on that if possible. However, my husband seemed to be completely leaving everything to me, so I had no choice but to think about the layout of the house on my own. Surprisingly, I enjoyed thinking about the house. As long as I had a spacious room for my husband, everything else was up to me. On the other hand, I could do whatever I wanted, so it was probably a good thing that my husband led it all to me. I discussed with my relatives about the new house, considering the budget and so on. Then, we made a contract and started to build the house.
Oh, so the house is finally going to be built.
Yes, the baby will be born right around the time the house is completed.
All the happy things are happening at once. We made it. All our hard work was worth it.
I guess so. You know, my husband didn't do anything. He's acting as if he'd been preparing for it too. I gradually became annoyed at his behavior around this time. My husband did not help me with the housework when I was sick during my pregnancy. So I had my mother come over to help me during my maternity leave.
Mom, I'm sorry. I'm causing you trouble.
It's okay. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so don't worry about it. Thank you. Thanks to my mother's support, I was able to live through a few pregnancy-related illnesses. But I was quite disillusioned with my husband. I wondered if we would be a good father to our child. These fears grew. Finally, the house was completed. When I saw the completed house, it was very beautiful and stylish, and even though I had asked him to do it because he was my relative, he still did everything professionally. I was a little bit bothered about my husband, but still, I was sure that my heart danced when I saw the completed house.
Oh wow, this is a great house. We gotta start our new life together.
Yes, it is. I'm looking forward to it. Just the thought of having a baby soon and spending time together as a family in this house made me excited again. 3 weeks later, I gave birth. A beautiful baby girl was born. My husband, parents, and in-laws were all very happy about the birth of our daughter. After leaving the hospital, I started raising my child in the new house. The smell of the new house was very soothing, and it was very easy to cook in the kitchen. My husband seems to be satisfied with the spaciousness and comfort of his room. After that, my childcare leave period ended, and I returned to work. I left my daughter at the daycare center, picked her up from work, and came home every day. My husband still did not do the housework, but by that time, I no longer felt any resistance to doing the housework by myself. However, my husband gradually started coming home late. Did you work late again today?
Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm going to take a bath and go to bed.
What? What about dinner?
Sorry, I already ate.
Oh no. But I made it just for you.
I had to work, so it couldn't be helped, right?
But why didn't you call ahead?
It's a pain in the butt. And when I have to work late, I can't afford to call you every time. You work too. You know that, don't you?
My husband went to take a bath with such a frustrated look on his face. After that, he came home late at night more and more often. And even on holidays, he went out alone. I became more and more dissatisfied with the fact that he did not care about the family at all. Then one day, I exploded. It was a Friday. My husband came home again at 2 a.m. without calling me. Welcome home?
Whoa, you scared me. You're still up.
Is it more convenient for you if I'm asleep?
Not that I'm saying that. But I'm going to take a bath and go to bed.
Wait a minute.
What?
You've been home late the last few days. You've been drinking. You go out on your days off and leave me and my daughter alone. I want you to be a better husband and father and take better care of our family. When I said this to him, he looked annoyed.
I work hard to support this house as the head of the family, don't you think? Don't you dare to speak to me like that just because you're my wife.
What was that supposed to mean? I work too, and I'm the only one who takes care of our kid.
Huh? So what? That's a wife's job, right?
That's an old-fashioned way of thinking. I just want you to think about our family, at least a little.
Shut up. Don't tell me what to do.
My husband got so mad that he went into his room. My daughter woke up and cried because of his yelling and anger, and I was forced to concentrate on caring for my daughter. But I'm sure that I was more angry than ever with my husband. I decided to go back to my parents' house for a while and pack clothes for about a week. The next morning, I took my daughter home early. My parents welcomed me warmly because I had explained the situation to them beforehand.
It's a tough relationship between a husband and wife. But I do wish he would think about your family a little more.
Well, forget all that for once and stretch your wings. I'll take care of the housework. My parents took care of me. It helped me to relax and concentrate on my work. I'm sure my husband will be thankful for me in a week. I left the house for such a long period of time because I wanted him to realize how much I took care of the housework. But I never heard from my husband during that time. I wonder if he was too stubborn to contact me. At any rate, I went home because I'd been bothering my parents for a week or more already. I wondered how dirty the house was. I opened the front door of my house with some anxiety. It was as clean as when I left. Had my husband cleaned up the house? I entered the house with surprise. But when I saw what was now on the table, I was absolutely stunned. What? No way! There were divorce papers on the table that had already been filled out. And when I looked at his room, I found his belongings were gone. In short, he had left while I was giving him the house. I called him in a panic. Hey, Louis! Who are you? Huh? I thought I called my husband, but a woman answered the phone. Are you Louis' wife?
Yes, but who are you?
I'm Louis' girlfriend. What? Louis dumped you?
Oh no. You were having an affair?
Louis chose me. At first, it was an affair. But now that I'm officially his partner, you need to file for divorce. Oh, and don't try to find him, okay? We've already quit our jobs and moved to different places. You have a mortgage on a new house, don't you? And you have to raise your kid. I don't think a mere office worker can cover such expenses. But good luck with that. After saying this, the doctor hung up the phone. I despaired. I had no idea that my husband was having an affair. I was so angry that I couldn't control my emotions. My parents came to see me right away, and as we talked, I gradually regained my composure. My parents were also indignant and wanted to catch them right away, but I didn't want to waste my money on a detective agency to look for them. Anyway, I called my parents-in-law, but they didn't know where my husband had gone, and they apologized profusely. I had many thoughts about my husband, but I decided to forget about him and move on with my life. I filed for divorce and decided to raise my daughter as a single mother. The problem was this new house. The house, which is under my name, is a rather expensive house, and the mortgage is still $4 million because I had assumed that we would be able to pay for it together. Now that my husband is gone, I have to pay off this loan by myself, which is impossible. It is not realistic when I think about saving money for tuition for my child. So I decided to sell the house. A year has passed since then. After my divorce, I moved back to my parents' house, and with the support of my parents, I was raising my child and working hard. Then one day, I decided to go shopping and was walking around town. I was walking around, and suddenly someone called out to me.
Hey, it's been a long time.
It was my ex-husband.
What are you doing here?
His face was grinning so much that he wanted to make fun of me.
I just came to buy something for my daughter.
I wanted to leave as soon as possible, but he insisted on talking to me.
I heard you sold the house without paying back the loan.
How do you know that?
I want to see if you were still living in the house. But I saw the name on there had changed, so I knew you sold it. Well, you can't afford it. It's better to sell the house, even if it's in red. How much debt do you owe now?
That's what my ex would ask me. I'm sure he's planning to laugh his head off when he hears my answer. But I'm sorry, it's not going your way. That house sold for $20 million when land prices went through the roof.
Huh?
Yes. So we made profit of over $10 million after all that. My ex-husband's face turned pale when he heard my words.
No way. You're lying, right? How could you sell that house for that much? That house wasn't bad, but it was just a normal house.
Wow, we just got lucky. The relative who designed that house was an internationally recognized architect. That was before you eloped with your mistress, so the house sold for a huge premium because of it. Well, it was brand new and immaculate.
Oh no. Then give me my share. Half of it's mine.
I'm afraid I can't do that. You left a written note with the divorce papers saying there would be no share.
I didn't want to give you a dime of my money.
Even so, it's still valid. So I don't have to give you the money I got. Then we have nothing more to talk about.
Wait a minute. I'm in debt. I tried to make a fortune in the stock market and failed. And the woman I remarried ran away. I'm so stupid.
And that's why you decided to ask me for help? You're really good at what you do. But you dumped me. Do you think I would help you with money? But since you showed your face now, I'll charge you alimony and child support for the affair.
Hey.
If you come any closer to me, you're going to owe me even more money. Is that clear?
What?
If you don't like it, don't ever come near my family again. I told that to my ex-husband, and he ran away in fright. I don't expect to get any alimony from him anymore, but I'd rather not have him come close to me and cost me money now. So I taught him this so that he would never appear in front of me again. In fact, since then, my ex-husband has stopped showing up at all. Well, maybe he is so much in debt that he doesn't have any time to pay the bills. But I am already happy and I'm prosperous enough without him, and I don't want to get involved with him anymore. I am going to live happily with my daughter who is growing up and my parents, and I am going to do my best in my work every day.